Hi everybody, welcome back to DayZ and welcome back of course to Green Mountain, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my new 1.22 compatible survival hardcore server files for community servers for PC, PlayStation and Xbox. And these are the files that I do every update to make the DayZ experience more difficult. So the idea with these files is that I wanted to bring back that experience that you have when you first play DayZ and you're starving to death and you can't find food really because you don't know where to look, and you can't find a weapon, and you have all these really difficult things that once you've been playing the game for a few dozen hours, those things really aren't that difficult anymore, and you only kind of really experience that normally at the beginning when you spawn in on the coast. So I want to bring that back. So if you're kind of familiar with these files, the links to them to my repository, GitHub repository and my Mega, they're in the description below this video, so you can just nip over there and you'll know what to do with them. But for everybody else, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and I'm going to tell you how you install them as well. So let's jump out of here. So in the description below this video you'll find a link to my GitHub repository and you'll find a link to my Mega. So if one of them's down, you've always got the other one. And to get the files, you just click on code, download zip, or within Mega you can just kind of download the files too, unzip them on your local drive, and then you have access to files. Now remember, these should only be installed when 1.22 goes live. So after we get the nod from Nitrado if you're on console, or from DayZ if you're on PC, that the servers are being updated, and that might well depend on your server provider, that's when you would install these files after that. Okay, so what is actually in these files? What do they do? Well, I've gone to a little bit more effort this time to really think about how I want my DayZ experience to be harder. And as I said to start off with, the essence is, that original DayZ idea of that if you find a can of beans, you should go, oh my god, that's brilliant, fantastic, I've made my day. So they're basically vanilla files that I've added these additional mods. So lots of items spawn in with more damage, so things aren't going to last as long. So if you find a gun, chances are it's going to be badly damaged, and so as you're using it, it's going to break, and so you're going to have to find another gun. Your clothes are going to be damaged, so they're not going to last that long. So you're going to have to be, kind of swapping your clothes out for different clothes that are probably going to be more damaged. And if you find things like a sewing kit or some duct tape, that will be really valuable, or a weapon repair kit, a weapon cleaning kit, you'll be like, this is really valuable. Should I use it to fix this gun, or should I keep it for the next gun? The temperature is an average of 5 degrees colder throughout the year. So I went through the settings for temperatures for the server and just knocked it down 5 degrees. So from winter through to summer, it'll be 5 degrees colder, which should mean that when your character's not wearing thick clothing or they're wet, you're going to get colder faster. You're going to go hypothermic faster. So you're going to really have to think about setting fires and things. We're not talking the Malsk levels of coldness, but a little bit more colder. Half food and drink, very, very important. It's going to be more difficult to find cans of food and cans of drink. They are still there, but it's going to be a little bit more harder. Half of the box ammo and half of the mags, and less of the loose ammo as well. So it'll be more difficult to find ammo, and there's less weapons as well, a lot less weapons. So you may well find a gun, but you may be in a situation you've got something like an M16, but you haven't got a mag for it. You've got to feed in the bullets one at a time. Or same with a pistol. I want that experience. Less gun repair kits. So again, your guns could well break. You're in a sticky situation with some zombies and you use your AK, and it breaks. That's it. It's done. Throw it away. Try and find another one. Car and truck batteries spawn flat or almost flat. And there's less of them as well, so it's going to be much more of a challenge to get a vehicle going. The fuel cans and generators spawn almost empty, and there's less of those too. So for charging up those car batteries, you're going to have to find a fuel can, but chances are you're going to have to take that fuel can to a petrol station to top it up. The 3D map, so when you if you find a map, and there's a lot less of them, when you open it up, it's not like the computer type map that you have. It's the one that just looks like one of the maps that's been ripped off one of the tourist maps that are around the game. And kind of combined with that, even if you find the GPS receiver and a compass, it won't show you your position on the map either. So you'll have to use the GPS to look at that, see the coordinates, and look at that on the map as well. A 60-second log out timer as well. So when you log out, it's going to be a lot longer. So if you're in a sticky situation, probably against other players, you can't combat log quite as easy. Now this one was really important to me, but I'm not really sure if it's working yet. So I've done plenty of testing and I haven't seen it happen. So it might be that it's very rare. And this is animal spawn in urban areas. So what I've done with most of the animals, I've added spawn points in towns and villages for them that are in urban areas. But the problem is, because of the way that DayZ works, it doesn't allow events to pop off near each other. So it could be that it's a very rare occurrence. But hopefully, and if you do see it, please tell me in the description below this video. Fewer fruit spawns. I don't want it to be as easy just to run around a village and end up with loads of apples. And then we're into things like less can openers, less knives, less of the quality of life things that make things a little bit easier. Less torches, less battery chargers, less MVGs, less water bottles, more bear events. Now half zombies, actually I should have put that near the top. That's very important for me as well, because I think in the vanilla version of DayZ there's too many zombies. So there's about half the number of zombies as well, and there's a file that gives you a 12-hour server restart with a simple countdown. So it should be more difficult to survive. In fact, let's exit out of here so we can see the screen better. See, there we got the 58 seconds until exit. Now, obviously you can make it more difficult as well in terms of the length of the night, but I'll leave that up to you, because on PC you'll do that in your advanced settings on your server or your server dz.config, and on console we do it in our advanced settings as well, don't we? I think on our Nitrado server. So let's just come out of here. And let's talk about how you install them. So let's start off with console. So on console, what you want to do is you want to go over to your server. So here's my one. I always call them S1S server here. You go to the web interface, and you're going to want to make sure that the server's been updated to 1.22. Now at the moment, at the time of recording this video, maybe at the time of publishing it, 1.22 won't be out yet, so don't do this until 1.22. As you can, this server is currently working on 1.21, so these files aren't compatible. But what happens is, when the servers get updated, it's really just the DayZ server.exe that gets updated to 1.22. Nitrado, and probably your server provider as well, they don't update the XMLs and JSONs. So we just need to bear that in mind. So when this is 1.22, I'm like, right, okay, so I'm good to go. So on console, what you do, you can go to General Settings, you scroll down to Reset XML to Default, and you save, and you restart. And this will take all of the XMLs and JSONs and change them to 1.22 XMLs and JSONs. Just please bear in mind that if you've done any editing on your XMLs or JSONs, that's gone. They'll have disappeared. So you need to have downloaded them and done the appropriate editing first. But really, I guess if you're watching this video by now, you're probably not that confident with the modding process, and you're going to really using my files as a kind of a stencil, if you like, in order to have a nice easy server. So you do that, you restart the server. Once the server's restarted, you untick it and you tick it and save it. So then you'll have vanilla XML files on your server. Then what you need to do is you then need to go into the file browser, and all you do is the existing files that you've downloaded from my GitHub or my Mega, you just upload them over the top of the existing files, so in the same positions where they are. So if we go to DayZ PS missions, or XB missions on Xbox, or just missions on PC, go into the Chernarus missions folder, which is this one, and then in the root directory of the missions folder, you go upload file, and you'll go to the 1S. So the one that goes in the root directory, you have CFG gameplay.json goes in there. Is that the only one? Yep. And you would upload that, and then you would go into the env folder, and you would go upload file, and you would upload bear territories, red deer territories, roe deer territories, wild boar, wolf, and zombie territories, and you would upload those, and they would go over the top. Then you come out of that, so you go back and you go into the DB directory. You scroll down, upload file, and you would upload events, globals, messages, and types. And so open, that would upload those, and then you would just simply restart your server. Now, it could be that if the server's been running for a little while, it may be that some things have already spawned in, but as the server works its way out, things will become rarer, they will become more damaged, it will become more difficult to survive on your server, and you'll have a more hardcore experience. And that's it, that's how easy it is. And if you are new to modding servers, highly recommend you think about using these files, because they're very easy to use. You can change them if you like, you can muck around with the types.xml to make it even harder if you wanted to. And they're pretty solid. I've been using versions and variations of these files for a good couple of years now, and people seem to enjoy them. And I know if you were to give me my choice of which DayZ I want to play, if I have some time to do it, generally it's either vanilla or it's the harder version of DayZ. I don't want it easy to find a gun. I don't want it to be easy to find food. I want to have to go and craft a fishing rod, or craft a snare and catch a rabbit or catch a fish and then have to cook it. I want all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Remember, all the links are in the description below this video. Thank you very much for watching, and of course I'll see you again soon.